Another day, another transfer rumor. One day we're going for that player, the other day we don't want that player, the other day we want this one or that one or this one or that one. His agent wants this amount of money, that agent wants that amount of money. We're going to get used to it, I promise, by the end of August. Or maybe by the end of June, because Chelsea do want to get a lot of things done before the end of June, for financial reasons and for pre-season planning as well. Now, before we start this video, I do want to take a minute to thank our previous gaffer. Maurizio Pochettino posted this on his Instagram page. If you want to read the whole thing, you can pause the screen. Top class guy. And it's going to be great to see him back again at the bridge for the Soccer 8 game, along with one and only Eden Hazard. Now, I know, he wasn't loved by everyone because we didn't win a trophy, we didn't end in the top 4, etc, etc. There were no tactical things, the system didn't work out, etc, etc. Fine, we can agree to disagree. I think he performed quite well in just one season. Could have been better, 100%. Could we have had less injuries? 100%. Would that have helped the team? 200%. But okay, we move on. We're now in the Enzo Maresca era. And so for the Enzo Maresca era, the first signing is obviously going to be Tosin Adarabioyo. And so we start off with a couple of stats from him last season. So this comes from Who Scored. So blocks per game, he ranked 3rd in his team. Aerial duels won per game, 1st, which is going to be extremely important. I know the other stats, for example, tackles per game, only 8. So you would think, oh, but a center back like him should have had higher rates, right? Yeah, maybe, but don't forget, they have quite a good defensive team, Fulham. So, in my opinion, having him as the number 1 ranked here aerial duels won per game is going to be of extreme importance for Chelsea because we have conceded way too many goals from set pieces. Then interceptions per game, 4th, and match rating 4th as well, 6.8. You know my view on him. I think on a free transfer, it was a no-brainer. I think he brings a lot to the team, and especially since Thiago Silva is leaving, we're looking for someone big with some experience. He might not be the most experienced center back out there, but still, I think he's 26 years old, has been playing the Premier League. So, my opinion, a no-brainer. Now, moving on to the next couple of things, we first have to talk about Chelsea's financial situation, right? So, The Athletic here wrote a short piece. What is their PCR position? Chelsea are confident they will comply with 2023-24 and are not feeling the pressure to raise significant revenue before June 30 to meet the requirements. While most outsiders concentrate on an overall expenditure on players of £1.2 billion since Clearlake Capital Todd Burley Consortium took over in 2022, the net spent for last year, including amortizing signings over the length of the contract and player sales, is viewed at around 150-180 million pounds in-house. Basically, in, let's say, business terms or financial terms, you have to look at the P&L and not just at capex, or in this case, expenditure, capital expenditure. Never mind, that's for my other channel. They still intend to be busy before that date, but that is because they want a settled squad in place for the start of preseason, so the head coach knows what he's working with and can plan accordingly. I love to hear this. Now, obviously, you have to execute on that plan. Chelsea also want to avoid having the group being too big by the time they depart for their tour to the United States in July and have individuals on the books whose future clearly lies elsewhere. This was a big issue in the past. Yes, Pochettino already did quite a good job, but I think last season we wanted to do the same as right now, but we waited until the last minute to actually make some signings, move players in and out. Hopefully this time around it's different. Moving on to the transfer rumors, first up our Lord and Savior, well, it's a joke, Antonio Conte. So apparently Romelu Lukaku is Napoli's priority striker target. Chelsea and Napoli could soon discuss on this deal. Chelsea still expects £38 million. Antonio Conte has called Romelu Lukaku to tell him he has joined Napoli and wants him in his team. I mean, thank God for Antonio Conte. Really, thank God for him. Grazie mille, mister. Moving on to a small report from the Bild in Germany. So Chelsea are one of the many clubs looking to sign Bayern München centre-back Dayo Upamecano. In my opinion, it just doesn't make any much sense, right? We're going to sign Tosin Adarabioyo. How many more center-backs do we need? And if we sign him, that probably means that Chalobah or maybe someone else is definitely going to get sold. Do I want him? no, I don't think we need him. I think we can spend money elsewhere in a more, let's say, smart way, which probably goes into the next players. Because as talked about yesterday with regards to Amari Hutchinson, so Chelsea have triggered an option to extend his contract until 2026, but he will either be part of the first team squad next season or get sold. Maresca will take a look at him this summer and he could be part of his squad. Of course, we've discussed this yesterday. I said if we sell him, hopefully it's with one sell-on clause and or a buyback clause. With regards to more players heading out, Armando Broja, so suggestions Chelsea will settle for 20 to 25 million pounds for Broja, who is wanted by Monaco, AC Milan and 3 Premier League clubs are premature. They value him at a minimum 35 million pounds, which could increase if he impresses with Albania at this summer's Euros. Which also means that you're probably going to wait until July to see whether or not you're getting some big bits from him, because the Euros start mid-June. So yeah, let's see what happens there. But 35 million pounds, not going to happen in my opinion. But of course, do let me know down in the comment section below. Who do you think Chelsea should be making sure that they sell by the end of June? Who would you like to see signed as soon as possible? Let me know down in the comment section below. Now moving on to, in my opinion, the most important part of the transfer list for next season is, of course, attacking wise. Striker and probably attacking midfielders as well. And for that, we have to go here to the Athletic. So Chelsea have been admirers of RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko for some time, but they face stiff competition from Arsenal. Apparently Arsenal are still leading the way to sign him. There are a lot of other names on the list, but Chelsea have ruled out making a move for Napoli's Victor Osimhen for a number of reasons. His release clause is in excess of £100 million at Napoli, his style of play does not suit Maresca's system, and there are concerns over the 25-year-old's injury history. Funny how now we're looking at injury history, but when we signed all the other players at the club, that was not an issue. Interesting. I agree that the amount that they're asking, we've been talking about that almost every day, the amount that they're asking is just too much for us, plus his wages are extremely high as well. The style of play excuse is just a lazy excuse. I think he's a tremendous number 9 and will fit any system. But okay, if you want to skip him, fine. Then make sure we get someone like Sesko. Because Brentford's Ivan Toney, we've talked about him yesterday, does not fit what they're looking for either. The club distanced themselves from links from Sporting Lisbon frontman Victor Gyokeres in January, and that remains the case. There is long-lasting admiration for Brighton's Evan Ferguson. However, Brighton will demand a large fee and the 19-year-old form has dropped off. His last goal came in November. I never understood the hype around Evan Ferguson. He had one great game in the Premier League. Congratulations to all of you that had him in your FPL team. But that's about it. Suddenly we made him like the next big thing because he's young and he's from Brighton. And of course our owners are obsessed with Brighton. But I never understood the hype behind Ferguson. It just didn't make any sense. But to me, it now tells me a different story about what are we going to do with the striker position. Are we happy with what we have? Datro Fofana and Kunku Jackson, and that's about it? Are we going full on Benjamin Sesko? Because it's clear that all the other options, we're not really looking at them. Yes, we've talked about Muniz yesterday from Fulham. But is he the one that will solve our issues? In my opinion, no. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Evan Ferguson, in my opinion, big no. So the question really is, do we change our stance with regards to Victor Osimhen, especially if Napoli wants to buy Romelu Lukaku, or we go with Benjamin Sesko? What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. Then, moving into something more interesting, I mean, we're getting so stacked in those areas in the team. So Chelsea continue to like Crystal Palace duo Mikel Olise, whom they came close to buying last year, very close. Basically, he agreed to join. And his teammate Eze. Both, I think, have a 60 million release clause. Nico Williams has a release clause of 50 million euros at Athletic Bilbao. The problem there is his wage demands. I mean, again, these types of players, if you really want to join Chelsea, let's say, then you will reduce your wage demands. If you really want that move just for money, then you can stay where you are. Although, I do appreciate Nico Williams. I think he's a great player. But if you're only coming to us because you want more money, then you can stay in Spain. But with regards to the other two, Olise and Eze, which one would you prefer at Chelsea? Of course, different profiles. I mean, if we can get both of them, then for sure, we're going to have to sell someone, because it just won't work, right? Mudryk, Sterling, Palmer, Gallagher, Madueke, we've got Michael Olise, we've got Eze maybe, then what, Nkunku, Jackson. Way too many players. I'm probably missing someone as well. I mean, we have next summer Paez and Esteva Williams that will come in the team. So yeah, it's going to be very, very stacked. So unless we suddenly change our stance and say, look, Sterling, we have to sell him, we get, I don't know, the amount of money that we're going to get for him, plus a huge wage cut, right? Because he's earning way too much money at Chelsea. Then maybe there is going to be a place for one of those players. I mean, I'd rather be, let's say, linked with the like of Olise and Eze than linked with the likes of Evan Ferguson. No disrespect to him, but there are different levels to quality right now. So yeah, it remains interesting. The most important part for me is definitely to get everything sorted out as soon as possible. Yeah, okay, fine. Maybe some things you can get done, let's say, end of July, August. But at least we know these players are not going to be part of the team. They're not going to be part of preseason. These players are going to be of extreme importance. Plus, I want Conor Gallagher's situation to be solved ASAP. There is going to be the Euros. Plenty of our players are going to play in that competition. Some players are going to play in that competition. I mean, let's get things going. Let's get things sorted out as soon as possible. It's better for the players. It's better for us as a team as well. And then we get our transfer decisions made easier. That's about it for this video. I have a good video planned for tomorrow with regards to top 4 finishes for next season, the expectations, how we get there. So stay tuned for that. Hit all the buttons, like, subscribe, notification bell, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.